It's a busy week for us.
It is
busy.
a busy week. First cruise in a year. Oh, are we doing from the same cup?
We are.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Oh my goodness. I realized I forgot to even put in here. It's been so busy this week for you and I forgot to put like an advanced event in HAPS. So I think we're going to have a lot of replay viewers. Guys, it's a crazy week. Hey Jay, how are you?
Hey Jay.
So one of the cool things that I've noticed recently, Jason, and I wonder if this ever has been on your radar. Hi, Emmy. Hey, Josh. Hey, Rob. Have you ever had a desire or heard of things to do in Puglia, Italy?
No.
So I went live with there from Karani Tours last week on Friday, and my mind was blown. It was beautiful. So actually right near where this is, because they say the heel, but some people call it the stiletto of the boot.
Oh, funny. Okay.
But from that area, you can actually take a ferry over to like Croatia across the Adriatic. Like it's 30 minutes, like where those Truly houses were 30 minutes to the Adriatic Sea. And then in the other direction is 30 minutes to the Ionian Sea because it's right where they meet.
Mm-hmm.
But could you imagine just being able to like be in Italy and just be like, oh, I'm going to take a quick ferry over to Croatia real quick?
It's kind of like how we in America can go from states. It's like going to California or going to Florida, going to Texas is just not even newsworthy for Americans. But I'd argue the same for the Europeans.
Yeah, I know. I think you and I have talked about, because I live 45 minutes from the Canadian border.
Yeah,
and I have friends that are like, oh my God, we're going to Canada. And I'm like, yeah.
It's fine. Yeah, right.
It is what it is. So Angela's in here. Galveston Steve, there are some neat things to talk about today, Steve. We have breaking news.
I think he's joking. I think Steve's joking.
You could think that we're busy. Which we are. We're very busy
which is why we had to reschedule for this afternoon. So thank you, Haley, for rescheduling it on my behalf for this afternoon.
No problem. And Jason and I have had some breakthroughs with some of the other stuff that we do. I sent him a spreadsheet of people that were looking for rates and stuff on things yesterday.
Oh, I know.
It was wild. It's been a ride, but I can't believe we're leaving this week.
I can't either.
Like, I feel like it felt far away for the longest time, and then it's like, bam. Right. You said you know me, Jason. Hi, Pam.
I do.
Dude, it's so funny is like, I can't even call Galveston Steve just Steve. It's just he's Galveston Steve.
Absolutely, yes.
That's all I can think of. Jason, did you take your little lock button off of your messaging?
I did.
And then, guys, make sure you share this broadcast, whichever platform you're watching it on. So this broadcast multicast to Twitter, out of HAPS, YouTube, Facebook. So if you can share this, I would greatly appreciate it. I know Jason would appreciate it. We're so blessed to have all of you here. And if you want to join the Facebook group, I highly encourage you to check out todayintravel.live. Anne is here. We're late today, too. Mr. Pizzo, welcome. Mark, are you packed? You know what I do, Jason? Sometimes is I'll be like, I'm going to pack, get everything set. And I'm probably 70% packed.
Oh,
but then
I haven't even got my suitcases out.
But then I drag my feet on that last 30% because it's skincare and stuff like that. I just
no, I haven't even pulled out my suit. I'm probably gonna do it tonight. Like I've done all the laundry. I mean, I've packed for cruises a million times. I know what goes in there. I mean.
So, I find it difficult for a couple reasons. One of the reasons is, especially when I first started cruising, I cruised in the winter. So it was really easy for me to pull out outfits because I wasn't wearing them. Summer travel, I find to be a lot more difficult. Like I'm trying to wear stuff that I traditionally don't wear so that I don't have dirty clothes of what I need to have washed and all that jazz. It's just kind of a struggle. And then with the blogging aspect, this is a total first world problem. But I have a separate packing cube full of clothes that are just for photos.
That's funny. That's funny.
Because those wistful skirts look so much better in photos, but I don't necessarily want to wear them around everywhere.
No, you are right. So, guys, if you're coming in late, thank you again for joining us this afternoon. I had an appointment this morning that I could not move, so I apologize. But it is almost it's top of the hour. It's 1 o'clock on the dot Central Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, guys, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us late today. We typically do this every day at 11 o'clock in the morning Eastern Time, 10 o'clock my time and Central, but we pushed it back for this 1 week only. So thank you for indulging us. I am Jason Poole. I am a travel advisor with Cruise Planners, an American Express travel representative. I'm an expert in all things cruises, land resorts, European land travel. Actually, just someone asked me today about an African safari. I was working on some of that stuff today. It was kind of wild. So pretty much anything travel related I can help you out with. And my partner in crime, my co-host of Today in Travel, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. So for those of you that are just joining, my name is Haley. I'm a travel blogger, and I also own a hotel sales support company called Hospitality with a Flair. Been in hotels for 14 years. And Jason, I feel like you're not a travel advisor. I feel like you're a dealer. You're a travel dealer.
Someone said I reminded them of of like a drug dealer, but I'm always like, book it.
It is. And the problem is that you introduce me to great things, and then I'm like, oh, I kind of want to do that. Let me spend a little bit more money. Let me get that fixed.
Right. Look, I know. I mean, yeah, I'm a pusher. So we have a lot of things to discuss today. So let's dig in. But before we do, we're going to go over kind of the same agenda as we always do.
Yep, we got hot topics. The list of countries has been updated today.
Finally.
Travel tip of the day. We have 2 questions of the day. One is between Jason and I. The other is submitted from a follower from the todayintravel.live Facebook group. So if you want to join that, make sure you do and invite your friends. The more, the merrier, because you can ask your questions in there. So Jason, first things first.
Yeah, so this was some big news. I mean, I feel like we've been talking about Europe opening up like soon. It's going to be soon. They're opening up soon. And so 2 popular destinations in Europe, Spain and France, announced that they were opening its doors for vaccinated non-EU citizens in like now. Like Spain said they opened their doors to outside the EU on June 7th. So that was yesterday. France is doing it tomorrow, June 9th. So great news. The world's finally slowly opening up. We finally have some changes to that countries you can travel to list that you do.
I've been waiting for this, I'm so excited, and I won't lie, I'm contemplating a France trip at the end of the month. The airfare is right.
Look, if you can get good airfare, I don't blame you. So for those who are loyal cruisers and love cruising like you and I both do, Haley, this was an emotional week because the very first sailing out of North America left this past weekend on the Celebrity Millennium out of St. Martin. So this is the very first one. And I've been watching clips of it. Billy from Cruise Habits on there. I've been enjoying his content. Good Morning America was on. I think they did a segment yesterday. They interviewed Lisa, the CEO. It's great. So the ship is pretty empty. It's like 35%, I think is what they said.
Wow.
So I think that's going to be kind of standard for a lot of these non-America sailings.
And, with that respect, something I want to add in here. if you are blessed enough, and I'm calling this a blessing and being very fortunate enough to cruise this summer, because this is a privilege in my
opinion. It is
a privilege to be able to do. Please, if you can, consider tipping a little bit more.
I agree.
Because, I mean, you can imagine with a ship only being 35% full, the kind of service you're going to get.
And think about the people who are the room attendants. Like I mean, these ships are they're pretty staffed. Like they're like almost fully staffed. So there are people who are room attendants who were on board doing like nothing. Right now, there's tip pooling involved, but I mean, extra cash for, the bartenders, extra cash for the room attendant, I mean, is going to be greatly appreciated. So bring extra cash. Yeah. And tip those people.
And even to spend in the ports too. Like if you can try to find something that's a little more local. I know, Jason, you and I have some plans to visit some local places and spend some money. I mean, you and I, and even in Mexico, we were tipping way above and beyond, and we are good tippers anyways. So just keep that in mind. Like, while we're so excited and so blessed to be able to finally sail, let's give back to those people that, per se didn't even get unemployment full benefits based on where they lived. Like,
right.
I'm just such a really big proponent on that. So keep that in mind, guys. It's a blessing and a privilege to be able to sail and travel again. So
I know. So I thought this was interesting news. It's probably going to be, years out, but the idea of having supersonic passenger, passenger flights. Sorry, my phone is ringing and my watch is vibrating. I apologize.
I told you do not disturb.
Did. It is on do not disturb, but it was still vibrating. I apologize. So United has ordered some supersonic planes that will greatly reduce the flight times for some long flights. So the typical time from New York to London is about 6.5 hours. If these supersonic flights do what they say they can do, it cuts it in half, nearly in half. You can do it by 3.5 hours.
My mind is blown by this, Jason, because I could literally, like, if you come up here and visit, I'd be like, hey, Jason, do you want to go to London for lunch?
Right. I mean, you could just be, that is why. So for some of the really long haul flights, so like take something like a LA to Sydney. Typically, it's a 14.5 hour flight. I mean, that's a long time to be in a plane. This can do it in 8.5 hours. So, 8 hours is still a long time, but that's kind of exciting. And so United is hoping that a reduced flight time will help people be more excited to do some of these long haul flights. I think it helped me be more spontaneous.
Yes, I think so too. Especially living in New York, like, even though I'm 4 hours from the city, that's a quick commuter flight for me.
Right.
To be like, it's a long weekend. Let's go to London.
Right. No, I agree. I thought that was some cool news, and probably years out, but hopefully one day we'll be flying on some supersonic jet. So this was some good news. I mean, we're not surprised by this. We've been talking about this. Summer travel it's just ramping. I'm seeing it in my business. You're seeing it in your business, your social media interest. People are they're booking, and they're wanting to go. Experts think it might not hit 2019 summer levels, but they're thinking you could get really close. Yeah. And talk about how, like, I wouldn't have thought it would have been like the demand. It just overnight, people were just going crazy.
Yeah, and it's wild. And I think some of the things that people are seeing too is that because travel disappeared for a year doesn't necessarily mean during this peak summer season that you're going to find a ton of deals.
I actually think it's the opposite.
They're making up for lost time right now, because that's typically how, like, a hotel runs. You're able to charge more in your peak season to offset your slow season.
Yep.
And with the pent up demand, and also the decreased supply, because there's some hotels that did close permanently. There's a
Right.
very good portion of those. You're not necessarily going to find necessarily a ton of deals, especially with what's plaguing the rental car industry right now.
Yeah.
You know, so you really need to keep in mind with the destinations you're picking, like, is it a little bit more walkable where you're not having to rely on a rental car? And what I will say from having traveled, especially last weekend, is, you know, even when we went to Cancun, is that there's a lot of delays in airports, like we talked about last week, like ground crews. So if you are going to a hub airport with a 45-minute layover, I don't really recommend it, because there's a lot of lag right now.
Yeah, and staff. Yeah, and TSA is not fully staffed. Some of the airlines are not fully staffed as far as the ground crew are concerned. So I just get to the airport a little earlier than you normally do. And if you have a really short connection, you know, you might look into seeing if you can change it, or hope there's a flight afterward that's open that you could kind of work with the airline to get on board another flight.
Yeah, I mean, because with our layover, originally I think I had an hour and 5-minute layover in Detroit going to Seattle.
Okay.
And we got stuck on the tarmac waiting for ground crew for over 30 minutes. I mean, we barely made that gate. Like, I ran up ahead while Jeff grabbed our gate checked bags. And they're like, well, if he's not here in 3 minutes, we're closing the door. Like, they were not holding for anything. So,
wow. So get to the airport a little earlier. Don't be one of those people, you know, don't be the McAllisters running through the airport.
That's a great analogy.
Yes. Yeah. So we also had some good news coming out. Royal Caribbean has announced their summer schedule. And so we won't go over all the details, but it's a lot of ships, right? I mean, we went from having like just the Adventure and like a ship or two in Europe to like it just like exploded out of nowhere. So quick summary, we're having 2 ships on the West Coast in Alaska. We've got Ovation and Serenade doing the Alaska runs. Europe is going to have 3. Anthem still doing the UK citizens only around UK. But Jewel is doing like the Greek Isles, Cyprus. We knew about that. And Harmony is going to be doing Mediterranean starting in August. So that's exciting.
That is exciting.
That's super exciting. And then for Americans, we've got a ton of ship option. Freedom starting in July out of Miami. Odyssey starting in July out of Fort Lauderdale. Allure starting in August out of Port Canaveral. Symphony, Independence, Mariner. I mean, lots and lots of ships are starting, and it's Galveston, Steve, Independence starting in August out of Galveston. So it's exciting time. And then right before we went live, we got some breaking news that's not on the slide. The CDC just approved the Celebrity Equinox to do sailings out of Florida, doing Caribbean runs for 7 nights starting in late July. So now we'll have the Edge and the Equinox out of Florida doing those Caribbean sailings. So just cruising is finally back.
Yes. And, you know, those Edge sailings, they're pretty fairly priced, I feel like, considering for what it is. Like, for a balcony all-inclusive, that one sailing we looked at was like $3,000. And that was drinks, Wi-Fi, OBC, gratuity. Like, that's a great price. And just so you guys know, you guys get the first tip in here. Tomorrow, if anybody in here is going to be doing the Alaskan runs, I have my Port of Seattle cruise guide.
Oh, yes.
Pre and post cruise time in Seattle. That is going live on my YouTube channel tomorrow. It's places to eat, places to stay, things to do, all wrapped up into I think it's about a 9-minute video. So, and I'm working on a post to correspond with it as well.
Excellent.
Super exciting.
And you know what? And I should say, with all these sailings, it's the same. It's the same criteria that we've seen with like the Adventure, the other Royal Caribbean groups. So if you're eligible to be vaccinated, so 12 and above, you have to be fully vaccinated. The Royal Caribbean group is the only one of the big three, the Carnival, Norwegian, and the Royal Caribbean group, who are allowing non-vaccinated children to board. So Carnival is going all vaccinated no matter what. Norwegian's going all vaccinated. Royal is allowing infants to 12 to come on board. And there's extra procedures for them, like they have to wear a mask, around the ship. So
is that the same case for Celebrity? I'm trying to remember because I just
it is. So I am shocked that they're going that route. So I'm a little concerned about. I'll just be honest. I'm a little concerned about I think they made a mistake. I think you just go fully vaccinated, no questions asked, and it makes me nervous for some of these sailings that are going to have unvaccinated children on board.
Well, because to be frank, and I can say this because I have one, children are germy.
Yeah.
And they are carriers. I mean, even 2.5 weeks ago, I kept Olivia homesick. She had to have a COVID test to go back because, COVID has the same symptoms as 100 other things. And after a couple days of this, upper respiratory, whatever, she was fine, good to go. I'm still dragging this thing along 2.5 weeks later. And that's the thing is it's not affecting children quite as much, but they're carriers.
Right. So, I mean, I hope they reverse course, or we just get approval from the regulatory bodies that the vaccines are safe for, for younger children. I mean, I hope that.
Yeah, I think Pfizer is on track. I know that Olivia is bummed because she turns 11 next month, and she just wants to be done with this. But they're aiming for September.
Okay.
For Pfizer for young kids, just so you guys have that heads up. Like, we're not doctors. We're digesting this as consumers, just like you guys, and also analyzing it based on the industries we work on. I don't have an MD. Jason doesn't have an MD.
No.
But this is just, we're reporting it live and giving our opinions. Everybody's entitled to their own, of course. So one of the things I'm super excited about, Jason, is I got to make updates to this slide.
Right. Finally.
The updates you will see is for Spain. So Spain is under that no COVID test column, and there's an asterisk. The asterisk is if you're vaccinated, you do not have to quarantine or test or any of that jazz when you go over. If you bring a negative or an antibody test, they're okay with PCR and antigen testing. So Spain's a little bit more of a free-for-all if you're vaccinated. You're going to have to do testing, though, if you're not. And then France, I almost said Paris, but, France is under the 48-hour column. You still need some prior testing. They haven't quite stipulated the hour mark, but based on Italy and everything else, I threw it under that column. They're still, even regardless of vaccination status, going to be requiring a test prior. So that is exciting. I'm glad we finally got to make updates to that. So question of the day, Jason, this is a fun one. What are we doing on Adventure of the Seas this coming weekend and next week?
I enjoyed this. So for those who don't know, someone asked earlier during our pre-show, what were you guys off to? So Haley and I are on the first Royal Caribbean sailing on the Adventure of the Seas out of Nassau, the Bahamas. I'm flying out Thursday. Haley's flying out getting there on Friday. And so we both board the ship on Saturday, and it is a 7-night cruise to Cozumel, Grand Bahama Islands of Freeport, and 2 days in Perfect Day at Coco Cay. So I'm staying at the Grand Hyatt Baha Mar for 2 nights. Haley, I believe you're staying in the adults-only Cove at the Atlantis?
Yes. So Cove. So Atlantis has different buildings. There's the Reef, which is the residence. There's the Cove, and then there's the Coral Tower and all these ones. The Cove is the more high end of the hotel side of things. It's quieter, like it's not water slides and whatnot. It has its own pool area, has its own beach area. I have a child, but I'm very much looking forward to a child-free pool.
Absolutely.
I'm super excited. So I think we'll be able to bring you guys some great options because I believe once things get going, you can also purchase beach day passes for cruises that stop in Nassau. So I think you and I can look into seeing what's available from that standpoint.
Right. And I'm super excited because if we're staying at the Baja Mar during a time frame and I'm there, they're giving us like a preview to their new like water park thing at the Grand Hyatt. So I'm not sure what all is going to be there, but I've seen photos and it looks amazing. So I'm pretty excited for that. And then so Saturday we board the ship. I selected a late afternoon check-in. What time did you pick?
So I picked 12:30, and
Okay.
part of the reason being is the blogging side of me just wants to be able to get that kind of first appearance, and also I want to be able to put all my stuff away in my room.
So I picked 4:00 as my check-in time. I just wanted to have just like a lazy morning, probably have one last lunch at the Baja Mar, just take my time. No, we don't set sail till 10. I think all aboards are like 8:30 or so. I mean, it's late. And I just kind of want to avoid the craziness of the people rushing there at 11 o'clock. So I'm hoping by the time I get there, it's going to be literally just me checking in. So looking forward to that. So let's talk about the port. So our first 2 port days are back-to-back days at Perfect Day at Coco Cay. What are you doing those 2 days?
So I didn't book any excursions.
Okay.
First off, I love the Oasis Lagoon pool.
I do too.
It is fabulous. If I do anything, I might just rent some snorkel equipment and just kind of get in the water, me living that mermaid life.
Yep.
But honestly, just kind of enjoying the complimentary parts of the island. I'm not huge into the water park side of things. I don't necessarily think I can justify the price that the Cocoa Beach Club is. Like, I want to truly explore some of the complimentary things so I can write about those, because that is a nice perk to these cruise lines having private islands.
Oh, and I think Coco Cay is like the best of all. I mean, it's amazing. So I'm doing something I've never done before. I've always done what you're going to do. Just Oasis Lagoon. Sometimes I go to the beach, but I'm usually just in the Oasis Lagoon. Complimentary. I don't spend a dime at Coco Cay. Well, this time I am doing something different. So Royal Caribbean always promotes Coco Cay as like the thrill and the chill. Right? We're there for 2 days. So I am going to try to experience both the chill and the thrill. So I booked the Coco Cay Beach Club. When I booked it, it was dirt cheap. I've never been there, so I'm looking forward to seeing it. I've heard the lunch is quite upgraded. It's worth it just for the lunch. So I've heard after lunch you're kind of like, I'm ready to go see something else. I'll probably join you in the Oasis Lagoon. And then the other day, I can't remember which day I picked, honestly. But the other day, I'm doing, for the first time ever, the water park. And I can't wait to do the water slides. I can't wait to get into the wave pool. So I've never done that stuff. And I'm so excited to do it with very few people in lines. I mean, it's going to be the best time ever to do it.
It really is. I was just going to say that. And I think we're going to be able to bring everybody a very well-rounded Coco Cay review. We're literally doing everything.
Yeah, I mean, so there were 2 days on a smaller ship at reduced capacity. So, I mean, when you're there on the Symphony of the Seas and you want to do the water park, I mean, there could be 1,000 people in the water park. Like, our sailing might not even have 1,000 people on it. So I am super excited for that. Okay, so those are our Coco Cay days. What are you doing in Freeport at the Grand Bahama Island?
Well, I think you and I kind of already decided this. So I've been to Freeport, and Tano Beach is beautiful. Right. I definitely can recommend it. I've been there. It's beautiful. It's not beautiful enough to draw me back. I think I'm actually going to stay on the ship. And I know you and I talked about getting a couples massage.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've never been. I've heard some of the beaches are beautiful. So I might get off and explore a beach. I don't know. We'll see. we'll see.
And the thing is, you have to kind of get a taxi to most beaches from the cruise port, anyways. And I mean, the Tano Beach taxi, I think, was like a 30-plus-minute taxi from when I was there last. I was just kind of like, nah, I might just stay on and make that a spa day.
Yeah, I mean, I do like
really
staying
relax.
I do like staying on board typically during one port day. I do. It's fun. I mean, on reduced capacity, I mean, it literally might just be us on the pool deck. Like, it could be empty. So I'm pretty excited for that. Now,
we could make some really funny videos.
we could. So what are you doing in Cozumel?
So in Cozumel, I am renting a Jeep from Solimar and Marimar, who's their cruise side partner, and going to drive around the island, spend some money at those bars on the backside that have been missing some tourist dollars. And then Solimar said I could actually drop off the vehicle in the Centro area so we can finish with Woody's Dive and Wendy's.
Love it. Well, I will probably tag along with you. I'm pretty excited. I haven't been to the back part of the island. I love it back there. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's less touristy. The water is beautiful because it's like the waves are just huge and majestic. I mean, that is not beachy go in the water part of the island. Like it is like people die trying to get in the water over there.
But the water is such a perfect shade of blue. Like Cozumel,
oh my gosh,
some of the most beautiful water.
When you go to the other side and see the water, I mean, it is just a different shade of blue. It is absolutely beautiful. So that's kind of the plan. We have sea days. I think sea days for the sailing will be like sea days and every other day. Just kind of relaxing, lunch somewhere, take a nap, and then cocktails and dinner, and then
So, Jason, do you have a drink package?
I do.
Yep, I have drink, and I also bought the ultimate dining package. I didn't buy the dining package necessarily to go to sit down every night.
Right.
I bought that more so. I like eating sushi. I kind of bought that for the quick, more so lunch.
Sure.
Because I am just not a buffet person.
So I think I'll probably have to eat at the buffet a bunch. Because I did not buy a dining package. I cannot stand 2+ hour dinners. I mean, I think it's the reason I'm actually bald from all of those years of pulling my hair out at 2+ hour dinners. I cannot stand sitting in a specialty restaurant on vacation for 2+ hours. It drives me crazy. Josh made a good point. If Windjammer is closed for dinner, I guess I'm having Sorrento's. And I can only do Giovanni so many times. I'm team no chops. Sorry, I don't think it's good. I'm sorry. I think it's actually bad. And so
I'm not the biggest chops fan myself either.
And so I probably will go to Giovanni's 2, maybe 3 times. And then I'll just there's no playmakers. I wish there was. I don't eat sushi, so I don't know what I'm gonna eat for dinner. I'll figure it out. Cafe Promenade, I guess. So yeah, I am not doing a dining package. I just cannot do Giovanni's every night of the cruise. Just cannot do it.
Yeah, I don't want to just sit. Like, I just want an option. Like, I love sushi, so I intend on getting some sushi to go and go eat it on my balcony. Like, I'm really looking forward to chilling out on my balcony. Like, yes, I'm excited to hang out with everybody.
Right.
And I'm also, even though I'm blogging, I'm looking forward to taking time on this trip to truly decompress. You and I have been through one hell of a year plus working in the hospitality industry during a pandemic, the stress, the anxiety. I mean, like, it's nowhere near first responders and doctors and nurses.
Of course
not. But, watching your industry that funds your livelihood go up in flames is just exhausting. And, I'm used to having some more alone time from my family when I go visit hotels, and I didn't get that this last year. And I'm looking forward to just really decompressing when I'm not having to do blog stuff or be up till 2 a.m. drinking with you and Rick Sankata. I might die.
You might.
With Cruise Life Rick on this cruise. I might die.
Yes.
I did my first new will, so that it's set in place.
That's funny. So guys, keep it tuned. Make sure you're subscribed to both Haley and myself. We'll be doing lots of content, lots of broadcasts. We'll bring you Today in Travel live on board, maybe more than once. So we will definitely keep you up to date. So the travel tip of the day, Haley, you taught me tip today.
I can't believe we haven't discussed this before.
I've never done this before, and I'm going to start. So what is it, and why should people do it?
So one of the recommendations I have, obviously, because I travel with a lot of gear, is I take a picture of everything in my suitcase that I've packed. And sometimes I'll even do it periodically. Like, I'll do one at home, and then I'll even do one at the hotel room as well. I take a picture of my stuff, or on the cruise, I take a picture of all my stuff. So God forbid my suitcase gets lost or whatever, having proof helps with the insurance claim.
No, I think that is a great tip, especially if you have gear, right? So like I'm now going to take. No, I mean, like, I'm not going to take a picture of my MacBook, my iPad. I think that is a great tip. It's easy. Takes 2 seconds to take a photo. I'm going to probably do it as I'm packing. So great tip of the day. You taught me that. I'm glad we got to share it. So
especially all your shoes.
And the skincare products, right?
Hey, skincare is not cheap.
No.
We have one more, and this is going to be our follower question of the day. So remember, if you want to be a featured question of the day, make sure you join todayintravel.live. Pam said watches as well, Jason.
I know. Yeah, I'll be. Yeah, actually, that is an excellent point. I need to take a picture of those. Excellent point.
And speaking of Pam, she is our question of the day today. How excited are you to cruise again?
It hasn't quite hit me. Like, as crazy as it sounds, I almost am like anxious, and I'm not excited yet. I guess I'm thinking of all that I have to do before. And there's still just a tiny part of me that worries in the back of my head, are they going to cancel it at the last minute? Sorry. We've had so much disappointment in the past 15 months.
I know. We thought we were going to do a cruise last Memorial weekend.
Isn't that crazy? I think about that. Like, we really thought we were going to cruise in May 2020. Like, I made a group, made flyers. So I am, obviously, Pam, I'm excited, but I'm there's just a tiny part of me that's just like, if it gets canceled, you'll figure, I don't know. I'm just, there are just lots of variables. Pam nailed it. The testing for my July group of Celebrity, they just changed the ship on us from Millennium to Summit. Like, that was crazy. So now we're the very first sailing on the Summit in July, and it's just like, it's just a lot. So yes, Pam, of course I'm excited. I keep saying I will believe I'm cruising when I hear the horn at 9 or 10 o'clock at night when we are leaving the Bahamas.
I know. I don't think it's going to hit me till I get on board. I mean, I'm super excited to stay in Atlantis. Atlantis, I remember it was the second cruise that my family ever did, and it was our first Royal Caribbean cruise, and we did that tour of Atlantis.
I've done it.
And staying there is kind of like, I'm super excited about that I haven't thought about the cruise yet. But I think I'm going to have this moment after that horn sounds, and possibly even when I walk on board, where I like tear up, and it's a total first world problem, but like,
I mean, I do want to hear I cannot wait to hear the ding, 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 or the CPAS card scanning. I can't wait for that. So I keep watching all the people in the Celebrity Millennium right now, and so that makes me, I was like, okay, it's happening, right? Like people are cruising right this second on Celebrity right now.
Jason, I'm not going to lie. One of the videos that I've thought about putting on TikTok or Instagram Reels was going to be changing up that song from Frozen and be like, it's embarkation day. The windows are open. So that door, like, I think I might just have a Disney princess first time in forever moment.
That is now.
You're thinking about it, you know.
Okay, sorry. Oh my goodness, that is hilarious. No, so yeah, so I'm pretty excited. It's going to be emotional, right? I mean, it's going to be emotional, and I'm real excited. I mean, don't get me wrong, the June one I'm really excited about. You know, seeing a bunch of friends, but the July one is a lot of first for me as well. Like, I have always wanted to stay at the Holland House in St. Martin. I'm staying there for 2 nights. All 3 of our ports I've never been to. Like I've never been to Aruba, Barbados, or Curacao. Like how is this possible? And so I've never sailed Millennium class with Celebrity. So July is just going to be just all sorts of just like, you know, new ship flying to St. Martin, all new ports, like my first time in a suite with Celebrity. So the June one, I feel a little bit more comfortable with. I've sailed Voyager class. I've been to Coco Cay. I've been to Cozumel.
There's familiarity to it.
I know exactly what we're doing. The July one is a little bit more this kind of like, I've never been to these places. So I'm definitely anxious but excited about the July one as well.
Absolutely. Well, Jason, thank you so much for joining me today. I cannot wait to see you on Saturday, because Jason and I joked, everybody's like, oh, are you going to meet up? I'm like, honestly, I got a lot of work to do.
I do too.
I think it might be a room service dinner kind of thing on Friday. I'm not sure, but I look forward to seeing you on Saturdays. You guys, please join the Today in Travel group.
Yes.
Any questions you have about this sailing, please plug them in there. I'm going to be doing live videos and stuff on TikTok and Instagram. So if you are over there, please give that a follow. I mean, I'm going to be making a ton of YouTube videos. What I envision for me is there's going to be a lot of the short videos, because I can quickly do those coming out, just kind of the quick under 60-second videos. And then, of course, there'll be full vlogs. So if there's something you want to see, I know a lot of people, based on my Instagram story yesterday, want to see the new procedures.
Absolutely.
Is a hot topic. Just let us know in that group. And we will be going live, hopefully, if Voom cooperates, next week.
And pretty often. And also, guys, make sure your notifications are on, even if it's nighttime, because some of those late night broadcasts don't get saved.
By that, he means his.
I did record one last weekend, and was that 2 weekends ago? Maybe both. I don't know. And I deleted it, and Derek texted me. He's like, your broadcast is gone. What happened? I was like, if you didn't watch it live, yeah, you missed it. So
I don't know. I got a few gems in here of you.
So take care, guys. Many of you are coming on the adventure this weekend, so I cannot wait to see many of you on Saturday aboard the Adventure of the Seas. Haley, thank you so much for coming this afternoon. Going forward, we're back to our normal time.
I think we might be bringing back our morning show on this cruise if all
goes
well. So keep in touch. So we may not do the traditional show next week. The more so might be like how we used to do our Good Morning Allure. And Jay, you'll definitely see Tipsy Haley scopes. That is going to happen.
I'm canceling my drink package right now.
Mm-hmm. You wouldn't be able to afford it. Let's talk about your bill in Playa del Carmen, Jason.
Have a great